Hi, everyone. Welcome to Crossing the Threshold with leadership coaches James Wilson Jr. and JC Fowler, a podcast for mission-driven leaders navigating what's next in life and leadership without losing what matters most.
All right, what's up, y'all? I'm James Wilson Jr. with my man, JC Fowler. Today, diving back in. JC, what helps you actually follow through when life gets crowded?
You know I love me a good execution system. I think the game changer for me, if I had to say like one app or one little like tweak, is the Reminders app.
Yeah, you love that, man.
Dude, it's amazing. So I can use the button on my phone. I could speak into it, and I just say add reminder at 9 a.m. tomorrow. Text James the code. That way, it is out of my head. Things are crazy. I'm moving. I don't have time to type it in to-do note. I don't know if I'm going to look back at the to-do note. I don't know what's happening, but I actually get a push. And so, a hack for you guys: if you add a reminder but don't put a time on it, it won't push you. And so I've talked about, the reminder app doesn't work. It just lives in this app and I have to go check it. I'm like, no. You just add a time to it. And that thing, dude, that thing is game changing. I love rhythms of like, look at your to-do list, week, month, build a rhythmic calendar, all this stuff. But that simple little, like, someone comes up to you and says, hey, can we talk about this thing? And you're like, yeah, I'm not going to remember that. We're in a crowded room right now. But to get it, and then you really start following through. So
that's good, man. No, that's perfect. That's exactly where we're going today. Last episode was about why clear plans still stall. Today, we're talking about how execution actually happens. Right? So execution is great because it's not just about starting strong. And most leaders do that. We do that well. Like you said, we've got the rhythmic calendars, we've got the plans, all those things. They get excited, they make the plan, they call the meeting and take the first step. The harder part, though, is returning to the work when things get crowded, messy, or boring. I feel like I need this for myself. So today we're asking, how will I get this done? We're keeping it simple, and here are the three questions that are going to guide our time. It's what's the next move? What could get in the way? And when will we return to it?
yeah, that's the rhythm. Execution is a rhythm. It's not a burst of adrenaline. I feel like leaders have a million things on their plate, and so we love to execute through urgency. It's like the deadline's coming, the pressure's really high, or the people are frustrated, and now I have to do something about that problem.
Yeah.
Or somebody quit. Oh man, that was a real wake-up call.
Yep.
Or the numbers aren't right.
Yep.
The donor isn't coming through, whatever it is, right?
Good.
And so we need a sustainable rhythm that helps us keep the work moving forward before everything becomes urgent. We can't avoid urgency, right? Like we don't want to live in this Pollyanna in the cloud space where it's like, nah, it's fine. You just got to be chill as a cucumber. No, sometimes there are urgent things, but if everything is urgent, it's probably because we're doing something wrong. We don't have a good execution rhythm. So we talked about it as far as like the three moves, but I almost want to even pull us back from that and say that one of the most important rhythms, and some of you guys are going to like cringe at this, is to have a meeting.
Yeah.
Whoa. If you have a team, if it's anyone other than just you and you do not have a tactical meeting on the board, a weekly or bi-weekly meeting where you meet and talk about executing, it saves so much time. We think sometimes more meetings means more time and work. And I would say it's better defined meetings, more intentional meetings that save us a ton of time and work. And so to have a rhythm where we come together and we're saying, okay, what's the next move? What could get in the way with that? And when will we return to it? Which is probably going to be your next meeting, but people need to hear that, right? And know it. And to make sure we protect a meeting like that. And if you're alone, you could just get with yourself, block out some time and work through that too. But sometimes what is supposed to be a 45-minute, and some of you are laughing about that because you're like, yeah, right, that's never happened. What's supposed to be a 45-minute or an hour meeting turns into an hour and a half, hour 45, 2 hours.
Yeah.
And that's because we're trying to combine a planning meeting with a tactical meeting. We're trying to combine a meeting where we're trying to get clarity around the direction of the organization or the team with an execution meeting. And so we were just talking about the utility, the great gift that is what we call the parking lot. When you're in this execution meeting, you're talking about how do we get it done? When are we going to do it? Who's going to own it? Someone inevitably is going to say something like, well, what if we launched a new product line? And that might be $1 million idea.
Great idea.
Needs to be attended to.
I probably would even suggest that idea.
Probably James is the one that said we needed it. However, we don't have the time and attention to do that now. So here's what it looks like. Okay, we know we got things to get done. Someone offers this new idea. A couple people have opinions on it, so they talk about it. That's 10 minutes past. And then things keep going in the meeting. We keep talking about it. And then finally we say, oh, we're not going to be able to finish it, so we'll table it. So we just spent 30 minutes on something that is half done and we're not going to return to soon, if ever, hopefully. And then all the other things that we were supposed to get done, well, now everyone's checking their watch because they have another meeting after this meeting or they got other work they got to get done. And then so everyone says, okay, well, you guys know what to do. We'll see you next week. It's like, so we need a rhythm. We need a rhythm. And we need to.
That's so good. Man.
We need to actually live
that line. The parking lot is so powerful, man. I think that's something that's been helpful for us. Let's just put that in the parking lot. Let's put it. And I think the challenge, though, I would say, is that sometimes things can be buzzwords, and so we have to make sure that the parking lot doesn't become crowded. Right. So you ever walk or pull into a place and there's no parking spots? Like, you actually need to make sure that if you're going to have a parking lot, that you do have this rhythm of a meeting where, hey, we can't talk about it right now, but we'll talk about it then. I just, as an idea guy, if all of my stuff just is living in the parking lot and we never get a chance to actually talk about the parking lot, now I'm deflated. Now I'm just like, well, I ain't offering no more because listen, the parking lot's full. Go find somebody else to put something in the parking lot.
I love that. We've seen it happen where it worked pretty well with maybe you have it monthly or every 6 weeks. You have the strategic meeting, which is like the parking lot meeting. But tell our listeners what you were just telling me about, like almost designated parking lot meetings.
Yeah. So I had a friend was just talking to, and one of the things he does with his board is they'll meet probably 6 times a year. And one of the things he does is, hey, we're going to actually have one of those meetings be designated for policy. So when you're in those meetings, naturally you've got a board, you've got these leaders, this team, this core team, and there are things that are going to come up that really feel pressing. So the engineer is going to be looking at things like, when are we going to have these systems in place? So now to say to the engineer, hey, we're going to get to it. Let's put it in the parking lot, but we'll handle that meeting in June when our policy meeting is, right? So whenever that is, you do need to have a place. Like, there's got to be a time where the parking lot gets empty. Otherwise, we just got a crowded parking lot.
Right. I feel like policies are one of those things that comes up a ton in these tactical meetings.
Yeah.
Like, well, we need a policy or procedure around that. And sometimes you need that ASAP. Most of the time you don't. It's just a good thing moving forward. So here's the rhythm.
Okay.
Have a weekly or bi-weekly meeting where you're actually talking about the tactical stuff, the work you're doing now and getting done. Then we need an every 4 to 6 week meeting or time, designated time, 1, 2, 3 hours, depending on where you're doing that time, where you're actually going to revisit these things in the parking lot, these bigger ideas, these policy discussions. I like to lay it out where actually one time a year, if you can map it out like this, you have the bucket where you talk about maybe it's a new initiative, whatever it is. I love that.
Just chewing on it.
But then if we drill down, so we have the tactical meeting, we have the strategic planning meeting, great. Sounds like more meetings, sounds like getting more work done. Trust us. But then there are these 3 moves, and we want to unpack those. We talked about them last episode, but we want to dig deep on this because this really moves the needle. We want to name the move, clear the block, and return to the work. So why don't we start with name the move?
Let's do it, man. So execution begins when the outcome becomes a concrete action. Right. So as we name the move, giving it language, leaders often stare at outcomes and we often call them next steps. I am so guilty of this. Right. So grow the revenue, launch the program, fix the system, develop the leaders, build the cultures are not next moves. They're outcomes. They are, and even that, they're desired outcomes. But we actually have to take a step back and say, how do we actually make this more specific? So the move has to be specific enough that someone can do it right? Like it's like, oh, build the culture. Okay. And I'll probably qualify it to your language. The move has to be specific enough that someone can do it by the end of the week. Like
Right.
that's the whole thing. Like
Wow.
we can't build culture by the end of the week, but what it looks like. Let me give some examples.
Well, I would say, let me just add this, because it's kind of implicit in what you're saying, is we can also measure it.
It's measurable.
That's really
the
good.
thing.
Okay.
So
All right,
if
yeah.
I'm naming it, it's got a face. It's got a measure. It's got they're 5'9" or they're 5'10" and a half. They're 5'11". You know, whatever it is. It's 6. I've got to be able to name it. That we
They're
could get
5'9" on a good day.
Come on,
you
on
know?
a good day, man. so and if we can name it, that's a whole nother conversation. But if you can name it, you also are naming the problem and things like that. And we'll get to that in a little bit.
Love that.
But as we think about this, grow revenue now becomes make 5 warm follow-up calls. Oh, now we're getting some movement.
Hey, James, did you grow the revenue? Did you make those 5 calls?
Yes.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
can
love
check
it.
that
Give us
off,
more.
Right?
Give us more. This
right?
is so good.
Launch the program becomes finish the outline by Thursdays. Get your thoughts. Put them on paper. Oh, does this actually make sense for a program? Develop leaders becomes, let me actually schedule 2 development meetings or conversations with so I've got my rhythms of weekly meetings. How do I make it out with my one-on-ones if I'm leading a team? Like, how do I make out with my key leaders? Those are important.
That's wild, dude. If someone asks you, like, hey, how are you developing your leaders? Most of the people, when we ask them that question, are like, I'm like, huh.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, we'll have these development meetings on the calendar. Again, not that there's a
Yes,
a
there's other
formula,
ways.
but
Yes,
it's
yes.
real. Okay.
Yeah, because the idea that there are things, we know that in leadership spaces, there are things that are taught and then there are things that are caught.
Yep.
And so you have to be able to be with people in that, especially depending on where they are in the organization. But fix the system becomes, you're great at this, document the process. Document the current No, the sky is not falling. Let's just follow the plan we set out. Let's just actually document it. And finally, like you said, building the culture actually now becomes, okay, when do I have that hard conversation about policy, about performance, about feedback, conflict? When do I have this hard conversation that I've been avoiding? So we got to think through some of those things. Hey, if you're listening to this right now, you're probably carrying a lot at work. We get it. We know about the 3 a.m. ceiling stare, wondering how you're going to get it all done or wondering if it's all even worth it anymore.
And that doesn't make you a bad leader. It just means that you hit a threshold. That's why we're opening up 5 spots for the 70-minute Leadership Momentum Accelerator. In just over an hour, we'll pinpoint your exact sticking point, map out a custom 30-day roadmap to help you break that bottleneck, and give you direct text and voice access to both of us for a full month to ensure you get the traction you need.
And here's the kicker. We know that time is your greatest asset, so we went out of our way to track down our own partners, and we built a custom bonus stack worth hundreds of dollars to help you reclaim some of that bandwidth and to get you to the next level. And we can't go through everything here, but it's waiting for you in the link.
Normally, a package like this costs well over $2,000. But check it out. For this summer, we're letting 5 leaders step through the door for just $398. Yeah, you heard that right, just $398. And if you still aren't sure after all that, it's backed by our heartbeat guarantee. If you follow the roadmap and at the end of the 30 days, you wouldn't do it all again in a heartbeat, we'll hand you your money back.
Listen, we get it, and we're rooting for you, and we want you to win. Click the link in the show notes to get started, or go to cttleadership.com to find out more.
Build the culture. I love that, because that's like a buzzword. Like, build the culture. Like, this just came to me, like one concrete action would be like, reward what you want repeated.
That's right.
So, okay, build the culture. Execution. At every meeting, celebrate a win in the category of what you're trying to promote. So maybe it's like, excellent customer service and a great customer review. Now you share in that meeting, Susie went above and beyond and did this thing. It's like, becomes very, and
Yeah.
I'm building culture, right?
Yeah.
It becomes very executable.
And in those meetings, man, we're creating heroes and villains. Like that in those spaces, we're actually, the more I celebrate, the more it's replicate, right? The more it's celebrated, it's more replicated. And it's like, I'm celebrating this right here. Okay, great. But I'm also addressing like, we don't do that here.
Yeah.
We don't do that, right? So you create those things.
And we need heroes and villains.
Yes.
That's that building the story brand stuff, man. That's so good.
Yeah, it's great. It's great.
So what I feel like you kind of named it a little bit, but I was like, okay, what makes a move too vague? I feel like one thing, so it's specific, so we can measure it, but we also set a deadline. Like if it doesn't have a when by, it's like build culture by when, and how do you measure it? Now we can say over the next 6 months we're going to build culture, but that's more of a plan.
That's a plan.
That's not an actual thing we execute.
We need some goalposts. We need some, like I love walking on the track and running on the track, and it's like, it's helpful to see, you're at 1/4 of a mile. Okay, great. All right, you're at whatever. And so we need those things. I love this, the 4 disciplines of execution.
Love it.
Phenomenal stuff. They talk about the difference between lead measures and lag measures. And you can't fully control every outcome, but you can commit to actions that make the outcome more likely. Right. So we actually have a sense of agency that no, we can't control the future, and no, I can't control what'll happen 6 months from now, but I can commit to some things, some actions that'll actually move us closer to that.
Right. Like lag measure, profit, lead measure, sales calls.
Correct.
Right. It's like, okay, there's the execution.
Gotta name the move. Yep.
I love that. Can't execute an outcome.
Can't do it.
You can execute the next move though.
Yep.
All right, so we got name the move, then we want to clear the block. Good execution names the obstacle before the obstacle owns the process. And y'all, obstacles will own the process, and people will get frustrated, and you will spend more time trying to do damage control or not, and then they'll just be damaged. That's it. Like, and then, they're all adults, they'll figure it out. I'm like, they're going to figure it out right out the door.
That's right.
Once the move is clear, we want to ask what could get in the way. And this is best done in like a brainstorm, like a team setting, because the things that feel like obstacles to you, depending on how you're wired and your personality, might not feel like obstacles to someone else. Also, there's the curse of knowledge. We can't remember what it's like to not know what we already know. So it's like, well, of course, you just plug in the code for the door, and your teammate's like, there's a code for the door? Well, that would have been... And so
You're pointing to something, man, I want to make sure we highlight too, is even as we're talking, a lot of the stuff that we are promoting, it's saying it's probably better to do this with someone else. And so if you are even a solopreneur or you are in this solo role, whatever it is, it's probably a great idea for you to find some type of peer, someone that you can collaborate with. Like we've talked about it, you set that meeting time, and maybe it's just you, but there is a system of accountability that happens when you have these people who are like, how's that going? Let me give you a little bit insight here. So having another person is going to be transformational to your life and your leadership.
Yeah, and as you seek to give more than you get, you will get more in return. Like maybe don't just look for someone to help you grow your business, but say, hey, let's help each other grow our businesses and or whatever it is, or help each other manage our teams. That's going to be awesome. And you'd be so surprised how people just want to be in those conversations.
That's it.
Because their wives, husbands are sick of talking about it. And they're like,
somebody else take this.
My wife is like, you need to talk to James about that.
Put it in the parking lot.
Put it in the parking lot. Oh man. All right. So here's some common blocks, like just to get your wheels spinning. No time is protected. So there's no time allotted for it. Common block. Where's the time going to come from? There's no clear decision maker.
Yeah.
Or another way to say it is like, no one has the authority to actually do that.
Yeah.
There's too many competing priorities. So sometimes, if you've ever had a boss, which I'm sure you have, if you're listening to this, someone says, hey, I'd like you to do this. And you're looking at your list and you're like, okay, so what am I not going to do if I'm going to do this? Or what do you want done first, right? So competing priorities. You might not have enough information. Everything is always clear in my head, It's not always clear to James. I don't know why, but
Everything is clear.
It's very clear in my head. I mean, I arrived at that conclusion right away and had a big conversation with myself. My wife can attest.
Oh, man.
So not enough information, but unless you ask, like, hey, is that clear? Do you have all the information you need? Great. You could have the wrong person owning the work.
That's true.
It's like James is a great strategic thinker, but if we have him just stuck down in the details for too long and in the weeds and putting in the numbers in the spreadsheet, it's just going to take longer and he's going to be annoyed next time I see him.
Yep. I'm going to check out. It's like, oh, okay. Yep.
So we gotta make sure, like, and there might be someone else who would love to do that.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, oh, I would love to do that, but you don't really know until you open that up.
We just hired a guy, right? To use some social media stuff. And although you are effective at it and I could maybe figure it out, this guy actually is like, oh, man, that's an awesome video. That's a great reel. He's done some great work.
He's done great work. Yeah. And he's, I would love to do that. And I'm like, thank goodness, because I would not love to do that.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Love it, man.
This one to me is the biggest one. And it's emotional resistance, and that sounds a little soft. And I'm guilty of this because I always move past like kind of if we go head, heart, and hands, I always kind of move past the heart. But I'm learning, and I think the coaching space has really helped me in that to see like why are they not getting this done? I was talking with a young entrepreneur over the weekend, and he has this huge following. Huge following.
Yeah.
And he wants to monetize it, and not in like a, we always say, oh, that's like slimy. You have this organic following. He's like, no, he has this deep passion about what he's built this following around.
Yep.
I'm going to stay pretty vague. And I'm like, okay, well, we need to start testing out some offers. What do you think you can offer? Oh, I think I could teach about this thing, and I would love to do that. Great. I'm like, well, okay, so very simple to me. Like we can construct an offer for you, and then you make the ask, and you use your language, and so it's not, yeah, well, I got this other idea and this other thing, and essentially what we came to was the resistance wasn't like, I don't know what to say, or I don't know how to do that. Now, granted, some strategy around it was helpful.
For sure.
The resistance was like, I'm afraid that people will think differently of me.
Sounds like an identity threshold.
Right. That's it. Why aren't you getting that done? It's like, well, we just totally missed. You don't know what they have blocking that. Maybe someone has some trauma around. You're like, oh, you want me to go visit the stadium? Last time I was in a stadium, I had a panic attack. Like, whatever it is.
Yeah, man.
Right.
Yeah.
And so that emotional resistance, I think,
That's good, man.
I think is so real.
That's really good.
So I'd say that's probably why leaders end up skipping this question. Like, what could be the block? Like, what's going to stop us? It's because we either think, oh, I know what it is. It's this.
Yeah.
Rather than asking, like, how can I help? Is that question we always want to ask.
It requires a level of honesty. Often we just don't want to do. But it's helpful, man.
Right. All right. So we name the move. We clear the block.
Yep. We got to return to the work. So you've got to navigate. Execution lives in the return. So a lot of leaders, we've been talking about it, a lot of leaders love launches. We love vision meetings and rallies and vision moments. We love kickoff meetings. We love grand openings. We love big declarations. But the work moves through the follow-up. And this is something you've taught me, man, that the check-in matters. The scoreboards matter. The adjustment matters. The next commitment matters. So the return doesn't need to be complicated. It can actually take about 15 minutes. Like you think about the meeting rhythms, it doesn't have to be this long drawn out thing, but we do need to get back to the return. And here's some questions for the return. 3 questions. What progress can we see, right? Are we making progress? What got in the way? All right, cool. And then what's the next move now? And I love this. It's action oriented. It's like, okay, what can we see? What got in the way? What's the next move?
And I think the tactical meeting we talked about, this is where this fits.
This is it.
You do a quick look back.
Yeah.
You do a quick what's happening right now.
Yeah.
And then what's happening next week. And you don't go further out than that, right? Like you're really trying to get it. But that's the return. And if you build in that rhythm, you don't have to remember to return.
Yeah.
Don't remember. If you are, I don't care who you are, whatever you're doing, stop remembering things. Literally, stop. Build rhythms and systems so you can use that brain power for your highest and best use of your work.
Yeah.
It's like, man, oh my gosh, when I ask somebody, I'm like, well, how do you remember all that? I just keep it in my head. I'm like, and you can't sleep at night, huh? or you dropping ball, whatever it is.
It's going to happen. So you're bringing up something that, and I want to lean in a little bit. The return is not about shame, right? It's about truth. It's about honesty. It helps us see what moved, what stalled, what needs to shift, and what are we doing next. So here's a question for you, man. How do we keep accountability from becoming punishment?
That's an amazing question. I think accountability has gotten a bad rap. And maybe it's like a corporate cutthroat environment. I don't know. Accountability, all it is helping someone live into the standard that they themselves decided to uphold. Helping someone live into the standard that they themselves decide to uphold. You're meeting with your direct report. Hey, when do you want to get that done by? I want to get it done by next week. Okay. Their goal, their aspiration is to get that done by next week, hitting these metrics, whatever it is. And then so when you meet with them next week or you have the conversation, hey, did you get that done? That's the accountability piece. You're trying to help them. And then if they say no, it's not, okay, well, I'm docking your pay. It's what got in the way, right? And so I think one of the ways to keep accountability from feeling like punishment is to make it just a regular part. And the leader is accountable too.
Yeah.
One of the questions we love asking is for the leader, the person with the authority in the room, to say, what can I do or stop doing that would make working with me easier? To be accountable to your people. And as you set that example, then it feels like, accountability is helping us live into the standard we want to uphold, rather than, well, you need to hold them accountable.
Yeah.
And I would say, I'm going off.
Go for it. I see you, man.
I would say we need to fill in the gap generously. Another way to say that is we need to assume the best. It's like they said they were going to send that email Tuesday and they didn't. I need to let them know that that's unacceptable. It's like, you have no idea what happened. Either A, maybe something personal came up. We're human beings, not robots, right? So maybe something personal came up and you need to attend to that, because even just from a dollars and cents standpoint, if you want to get real, tactical on it, that is going to produce the greatest return on investment if you tend to your people. But also at the same time, maybe they figured out there was something else that needed to be done that was more important. Literally for the work. Anyway, what do you think?
No, you're hitting it, man. I'm thinking of the power structure and sometimes the leader just assuming the worst, but the reality is it could very well be they saw something that was a greater opportunity. Not that what you assign or whatever wasn't important, but they actually were like, man, I actually want to see the best for the organization and you. And so I'm doing something that may not seem like it's taking something off your plate right now, but in the future it will, especially if you got the right person in the seat. So it's this dance, man, that you're right. I think if we would slow things down a little bit and really look at people as opposed to just treating them like machines or cogs in the machine and say, nah, this is actually something I want to pay attention to. I think we'll get a lot more results, man. So it's great, bro.
The humble, hungry, smart paradigm of an ideal team player.
Love it.
We can't go into it too much, but hungry is about people wanting to go above and beyond. Not workaholicism, but people really caring and wanting to work hard. And there's two ways to help people become more hungry. One is to help them fall in love with the mission, right? Like, what are we actually doing? And sometimes, depending on where you're working, that could be hard. Because you're like, I don't care that much about whatever it is, fill in the blank, right? But it's also, people can become hungry because they don't want to let their team down.
It is.
And so I would say accountability is a team sport. The healthiest teams are when the team members hold each other accountable. Now remember, translation, when the team members help one another live up to the standard that they all agreed to. Right. And then all of a sudden, wow, now it's not just on the leader. And then people, I don't want to let so-and-so down. We talk about these things rather than like the buried resentment. Dada's not carrying their weight, but I can't say anything about it because whatever it is.
I love it, man. That accountability allows us to return to the work. It's the rhythm of return. The meeting, you were hitting it. The meeting is not the execution. The meeting protects the execution and it actually helps us move things forward.
It protects the execution. Wow. Yeah. All right, so how are you going to cross the threshold this week? Similar, we kind of hit on this 2 episodes in a row, and that's because crossing this threshold is about repetition and execution. But for us, it's three questions. What's the next move? What's the block? or what could get in the way, and when will I return to it? To do that, just try it out. Try it out on something. Try it out with your team. Build it into your meetings. We call it like commitment clarification at the end of the meeting. You'd be surprised when if you don't have this conversation, one person's like, "Oh, I thought we were doing that next week." The other person's like, "Oh, I thought that was only for the HR department." "Oh, I thought that was only for the managers." And then you have this discussion and it gets clear. Oh, wait a second. So we want to name the next move, what could get in the way, and when will I return to it.
Love it, man. Well, closing thought for me, man, is don't just admire the vision or the launch. Move the work.
Yeah, I would say execution isn't doing everything. It's taking that next step and returning to the work until you start to see that movement and momentum. Yeah. Speaking of momentum, I think nothing is more powerful in an organization, in a team, in a leader's life than momentum. And so you've heard about it by now. We created the 70-minute leadership momentum accelerator to, in just 70 minutes, help leaders get momentum that actually moves the needle. We sit with you, both James and I. We go through the 6 threshold framework. We figure out, okay, what's the sticking point? What's the thing that's stalling the momentum? What's the biggest lever that we can pull to move you forward fastest? We help you create a custom roadmap to overcome it. And then for 30 days, text voice access, we walk with you through it. We don't just leave you and say, good luck. We want you to see this, carry it through. And so that accountability on that end is part of that rhythm of execution. We'd love to tell you more about it. We are rooting for you. We want you to win. We know what it's like to carry something heavy, and you don't have to carry it alone. Yeah. I'm JC.
I'm James.
Till next time.
Thanks for watching Crossing the Threshold with James Wilson Jr. and JC Fowler. If this helped you take a step forward, like, subscribe, and share it with another mission-driven leader navigating their own threshold moment. Until next time, keep moving forward with courage and hope.